Okay, cheers. Here it is, the video I'm very excited to make. Why I love my PlayStation 2 and squeaky reviews, squeaky chair reviews. We are going to, oh shoot, okay. Why I love my PlayStation 2. As you can see up here on the wall, I've got probably more PlayStation 2 games up here than PlayStation 3. Here I am going to just pick a few of my favorite games here, why I love the console so much, why I've gone back to playing on older hardware. Let's just get started. I'm gonna get a few up here. So one that I've recently started playing is the Devil May Cry series. Let me get these off the wall for you. Come on, huh? Capcom is in the building. Listen up. Here I've got the Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening Special Edition. Look at that. That's a beautiful case. And made in 2005, released in 2005, the year yours truly was born. Then we've got the Devil May Cry 2. And I know for some people, they say this is probably the worst one in the franchise. I don't care. I really like the concept of having two playable characters on two separate discs. That was so cool and probably very unique for at the time. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We don't want to break our game discs in the video. That one's fine. And then I got Devil May Cry, the original, on Platinum, which was actually the cheaper one out of the bunch. No, I'm lying. It was the Devil May Cry 2. And so far, I've gotten the furthest into the Devil May Cry 1 because I don't want to play them out of order, because what I've found to be difficult with games that have quite a large catalog is if you play like the third one instead of the very first one, and then you want to go back to the first one, it's very difficult to play the game because obviously a lot of mechanics and new things are added to make the game a lot more, well, better in a lack of words. So let's say like the Borderlands games, for instance. I know they are PlayStation 3 and that's kind of despite the point of the video. But I first played Borderlands 2, then I played the pre-sequel, and then I played the very first one. And lo and behold, I didn't finish the first one because it was difficult to go to a game that was lacking all of the mechanics and what is the word that I'm looking for? Quality of life improvements that I no longer could go without. So that's why I'm going to finish the first one before I go on to the second and the third one. Now, trying to talk about the PlayStation 2 also, and what was really funny about the time is when I was 7 years old, 8 and 9 and 10 years old, while I was playing on the PS2, my console didn't have a memory card. And the memory cards used to have 8 megabytes of storage, and it was the only way to save your games. So if you were to pop in a disc, play for like 4 or 5 hours, and then turn the console off, go to bed, and wake up the next day, you will find that all of your progress was lost. And me, being 8 years old, I didn't understand any of this. So I just figured, okay, I'll just leave my console on overnight so that I don't lose my progress. And that's probably why it didn't last that long. And that's why this is my second PlayStation 2 console I've ever owned. The other one is a bit fried. And now you know why. But yeah, there's the Devil May Cry series. I also, like I said it in my previous haul, I recently bought DMC for the PS3. And I've got Devil May Cry 4 on the PS3. So I've got all the Devil May Crys that you can get on the older consoles. I know there's Devil May Cry 5, but I don't own a PlayStation 4 and I'm not really in the mood in getting it on my brother's PC. But let's move on. What other things we can get here? This is the best game on the console. For me, personally. I know people have said Okami, maybe San Andreas, but for me, it's Resident Evil 4. I love it so much that I got 3 copies of Resident Evil 4. Why do I have 3 copies of Resident Evil 4? Well, it's a horrible story. So I bought the first one this December, and it was the most expensive game I ever bought at the time, at 400 Rand. But I thought, hey, it's Resident Evil 4. It's probably the best game, one of the best games ever made. It's going to be worth it. So I play it. I play for about 7 hours, having the time of my life. And then I come to a cutscene and the cutscene won't load. And I'm thinking, okay, let's just give it all, put it back in, see what happens. Still doesn't load. And then I found out the thing about all the PlayStation 2 discs is if it has a scratch on a particular part of the disc, you can't finish that game. Like, that's it. So, lucky for me, I had now a memory card. So I bought a new disc. And then with this new disc, I played up to 10 hours of the game. And then again, I came into the same problem. It was another cutscene that didn't load because now there was a different scratch on a different part of this disc. So luckily, I was able to talk to the person that I bought the game of and told him, hey, it's got a scratch. Is there any way like you could fix it or compensate? Can I give it back to you and whatever? And it was probably the nicest exchange I ever had with a buyer because then he said like, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll give you an entire copy for free. And then guys, I was so happy to finally finish Resident Evil 4 after buying it, well, after owning 3 copies of the game. And I would say it's still worth it because I really, really believe this is the best game on the console. I've probably gotten about 24, 26 hours now into Resident Evil. And what really sucked was I was trying to finish the game so I can get to the Mercenaries mode and all the extra DLC content that came for free on the PlayStation 2. And you had to complete the campaign or the main story to get to it. So when I finally got to it, oh man, I had a great time. I also got a few Final Fantasies. I know there's probably a big fandom of Final Fantasy out there in Square Enix. I've said a few times on this channel about how I feel about Square Enix, but that doesn't matter. We got Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Then we also got, the first one I bought was Final Fantasy 12. Then I got Final Fantasy 10. And now I most recently got Final Fantasy 10 Part 2. A lot of games in the Final Fantasy franchise, but I got these 3 specifically on the PlayStation 2. I know people say like Final Fantasy 10 is probably the best on the PlayStation 2. I think Final Fantasy 7 was also on the PlayStation 2. Correct me if I am wrong, but I know like it was more known on the PlayStation 1 console at the time. But anyway, so we also got that going on here. I got my Call of Duties. Let's get our Call of Duties out here. I got Call of Duty 3 with net play. It's a beautiful, oh, it almost fell out. I got this one from my very good friend who gave me actually quite a few PlayStation 2 games. And I really like it. Really good condition. Looks like my friend took very good care of it. Then I got recently World at War, but nothing like, and I mean nothing like, the PlayStation 3 version of World at War. These are 2 completely different games. They may not look like it. They may not look like it, but these are 2 completely different games. I don't care. Like, I did a video on this channel where I played through the first few minutes of the game. It's a completely different game. It's actually much more similar to Call of Duty 3 than to the one on the PS3. But then I also got Call of Duty Finest Hour, I believe, which is the very first Call of Duty that was ever made. Then I recently bought the very, very acclaimed Okami. Beautiful, beautiful game. A painting. It's just a painting. We already did the Kingdom Hearts. Now, there's so many, so I'm just overwhelmed a bit. But I had a video recently on the legend himself, Lego Batman. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then, but other than that, I also got another Lego game that is just resting here, is Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. I'm also looking to get my hands on the full Lego Star Wars one where you can play all 6 episodes. But this is just very nice. And what's really nice about this manual, I actually got to take it out for this video, is it's all in color. And you can check off all the characters that you can earn in the game with these little check boxes. And I think that's just so nice. I'm just smiling thinking about it. I think there was even, I don't know if you remember back in the day with user manuals, there would be like these pages dedicated to notes where you can just make notes. I also own this game, actually. Let me go get that out for you. Yeah, it just, the game really encouraged you to write things down. You know, if there was a puzzle maybe that you got stuck with, You could write some things down, maybe cheat codes, whatever it may be. This is the other Lego game that I have here. Technically not a Lego game, but I mean, it's TT Games, it's Lego. I got it from Software Game that I'm sure it's gonna become more expensive over time, because From Software is an amazing studio. We know this. And this is a stealth game made by them and with Sega. Tenchu, Fatal Shadows. Really cool mechanics, really interesting, quite difficult game if you want it to be. And I thought it was really aesthetically pleasing. Very similar to the old Japanese horror games that we would get on this console. And I'm still trying to collect those, but those are so expensive. I think Kuon is the most expensive PlayStation 2 game today, and it's going up for about 30,000 Rand, which is ridiculous. So we'll probably never own that one. I've got some platformers like the Rayman games. My first introduction to Rayman was on PC, where I played, I believe it was Origins. Yeah, Rayman Origins, which was really fun. I've got some superhero games, but the one I really want to talk about is Ultimate Spider-Man. This one's really nice because the art style made it really hold up. It's got really good swinging mechanics. You can actually swing from building to building. Can you believe it? You're not like just whipping against the clouds. And the art style, like I said, it makes it timeless. And you don't actually even notice that it's on all the hardware because of the shell shaded graphics. There we go. Similar to why the Borderlands games also are quite timeless to me because of the art style that they chose. Oh, what else? There's so much we've got to get through. Okay, let's talk about this one. Gun. As my brother would say. It's like his new lingo. It's just saying if something's cool, he would say, that's so gun. But why I want to talk about this one is because I hear a lot in the Red Dead Redemption community that Red Dead Revolver was the granddaddy of the Red Dead games. But for me, and I mean, this isn't done by Rockstar, but by Neversoft and Activision, this is a really good game to be very similar to Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption on the PS3 and Xbox 360. It's got horse mechanics, it's got towns that you can visit, it's got an open world, it's got shooting mechanics, it's got really interesting and quite good graphics for the time. And I just really enjoyed it for that reason, because I recently played Red Dead 1 on my iPhone because it was put on Netflix this year, or maybe last year as well. And I basically finished the entire game, brought it to me while I was traveling for work. It was really fun, and that's why Gun just stood out for me. I got Sniper Elite, I got Time Splitters, which is quite a well-known game on the console. I don't own the first one, but this one is really, really cool, just for like if you love games like Quake, arena shooters as they would call them. I've got, okay, so let's talk about the very first PlayStation 2 game I ever played, and that was Need for Speed Squeaky Chair. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Such a beautiful game. Look at that. This is now known to be one of the best Need for Speed games ever made. The other one that I own is Carbon, which I'll be honest, I'm not super crazy about, but Most Wanted. You know how in GTA, it's so fun to get like 5 stars and try to outrun the cops, and it's so fun to try to see how far you can go before dying or getting busted. This one did it really well. I know it wasn't before GTA. Like, I'm pretty sure this one released after GTA 3, or if not, about at the same time. But there's been so many good videos made of this game, and I treasure it as probably one of my top 5 best PlayStation 2 games of all time. We got a few Star Wars games here. Didn't know this until I owned the console again, but The Force Awakens was on the PlayStation 2. Then we also got Battlefront 2. Really nice. Really enjoy the Battlefront games. It's a shame I can't really figure out how to connect my game. I don't even know if there are servers, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get an online game, get it somehow working I mean, my PlayStation, it's a PlayStation 2 Slim, so it's got an Ethernet cable port already there. So hey, who knows? But what else can I give you? We got a few Harry Potter games. We got legendary Prince of Persia: Sands of Time game, which unfortunately had a remake in development by Ubisoft, but because Ubisoft is really going under, they had to cancel it. But at least, hey, we got still the original. My friend was a really big fan of this because it's like a card-based game, Bakugan, kind of turn-based. I remember watching it as a kid and collecting also the toys, but I can't for the life of me remember much about it. But I really like having it here. Transformers: Revenge of the Sith. It's known to be a pretty bad game, especially compared to the first one, which I also owned and was very nice. My most nostalgic game that I own, Cosmic Destruction. Also, one of the very first games I ever played on the console. I think when my parents bought me my first console, they bought it in some kind of bundle with these two. Or maybe this one came with the console and they bought this one as an add-on. But these two started it all and why we are here on this channel today. I see the video is getting a bit long, but I don't care. You know, we had Just Cause 2, 3, and 4 that we talk about, but nobody talks about the first one. To the point I didn't even know or think to the fact that it might actually exist. But this was really cool. Apparently it's really big open world and they kind of flex it here at the backyard. It's this mini subs and jets to explore 1,025 square kilometers of the tropical island of San Espirito. I think if I said that right. So they really brag about the very big open world at the time, which was probably impressive for the time. I'm not sure. Saw some videos on this one, Ratatouille on PS2. Thought that was really funny. I don't got any manual, unfortunately. But hey, it's great for a few mini game co-ops. I got rugby. I got the Fight Club game that I mentioned. Oh, this one's going to be nice. This one's going to be nice. Because I know there's some people where this is a sought after game. Psychonauts. How beautiful is this condition? It's a really nice one. Got the manual and everything. I think this one is also one that's going to really go up over time because it's quite a favorite. I recently again watched Moist Critical's top 50 games tier list and was surprised to see this one on the list. But I'm happy to have it. I struggled a bit with platformers because, you know, usually cartoonish platforms are meant for children and this console was built upon for children. But there's games like, let me get it out for you, Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter games, which are really impressive. This one I already got a few hours in and was one of the first I bought or got for free when I bought the console. Jak 2, really cool for the open world. I still want to explore it a bit more, maybe make a video on it of me just messing around. And then Jak 3. You know, this was Naughty Dog before The Last of Us and before Uncharted and all those other games. So it's quite cool to see. We got the original Killzone. Actually, I want to talk about the original Killzone a bit because of the manual. Look how cool this manual is. It's like a little... Yeah, anyway, it's all fine. This is how it looks, the original Killzone. But I want to talk about this manual. It looks like kind of a Times magazine or a newspaper, and it's got like all the lore of the game, but with also instructions. So there's like propaganda inside the game, world leaders, but also then the controls of the game. Then there's some like weird advertisements in here. I'm going to try to show you. Here's some, I think this is probably some of the characters you play in the game. Probably not that deep. But what I really want to get to and what I really want to show you is at the end, at the end of the manual, there's this thing called, it's saying casualties of war, and it's basically the whole dev team. And I just thought that's really clever and really smart. And then that made me really miss like what I loved about physical media, and what I still love about physical media is how, you know, these things were also a way of expressing art. The physical game disc, the physical manual that came in it, the box art, these are all still expressions of art that we will eventually lose over time. I got this little one here, but this is for the PSP, right? And I'm actually going to put this here for if anyone wants it, just let me know in the comments. I don't own a PSP, but if you have one and you want this one, just send a message. We can maybe work out a price. What else do I got here? I got some of the old Hitmans. I got the Da Vinci Code. This one will probably end the video soon, but Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, is also one of the best PlayStation 2 games I have ever played. No manual, but a movie tie-in game that is probably the best movie tie-in game I've ever played. The mechanics are so deep and you have so many options of play. It's a linear type game, but still for the time felt probably like you have so many options of progressing each room that it just feels amazing that they gave you that much choice. I'm losing my words. Let me take a sip. And there's a few YouTubers that I've watched. I think Noodle. There's a YouTuber named Noodle that did an amazing video on this game. It made me super excited to play it, and it really is as good as they say it is. Let me check what else we want to get in here before I end the video, because I think, oh, of course, let's get all the Lord of the Rings games that I have. I'm seeing a few Dragon Ball games. I know there's a few people that like the Dragon Ball games, but I want to end this video. I'm feeling a bit tired. Look at this. We got a Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King, and then a little bonus of the Third Age, which is a bit different to these three. These three are more like a hack and slash, nice co-op games, where the Third Age I think is much more like a turn-based game, kind of similar to Final Fantasy. I haven't played it yet, so just saying. Anyway, here is a shot of all the games I picked out for this video. I'm thinking of doing a video where I'll show my entire collection in full. But yeah, a lot here. I love this console. What more can I say?